And it's Thursday morning, and we're dealing with a couple of bands from Tropical Storm Cindy. And it does look like that'll be the story over the next couple of days. Indeed, expect some rainy times.
And coming up later, 1,700 miles and at least 6 states lead police to a pair on the lam for a week. What the two were doing when they got caught.
Plus 130 felony drug cases in just 4 months. We'll show you what this local city is adding to double their efforts. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Katrina Berry.
And I'm Bill Hughes. Today is Thursday, June the 22nd. Now, John, we've seen a whole lot of rain so far this morning. Yep. Do we have more for the rest of the day?
Oh, we got more coming in. As a matter of fact, it could even see some thunderstorms and even some stronger storms as we check out what's happening across the area. We are looking at certainly plenty of rainfall moving in, and but it's in patchy form. Don't be surprised to see a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of partly cloudy skies in between. So it's not going to be like a all day, like from right now through this evening tonight rain. In between, we will have some embedded areas of maybe a partly cloudy or to a mostly sunny, even briefly, but that'll be very rare. Okay, I think. There's Tropical Storm Cindy just off the coast right there from Beaumont, Port Arthur at 45 miles an hour with gusts up to 50. And that system, again, moving off northward and then eventually turning northeastward and eastward. And that'll bring us plenty of rainfall, even embedded stronger thunderstorms over the next couple of days. That's a look at weather for now. For in a few moments, more details. Now here's Katrina.
Just her presence, knowing she's around, just gonna miss her terribly, and her family. Her son and her husband. It's going to be very hard on them.
Those somber words coming from the victim's aunt. She now has to bury a loved one following an attempted armed bank robbery in Mantachie. 2 people are dead, including the suspect. This tragic event, police say, unfolded around 10:40 a.m. yesterday morning at the Farmers and Merchants Bank on Highway 363. We've been speaking with the officials. Authorities say there are not any ties between the shooter and the victim, Judy Guin of Marietta. Police identify the robbery suspect as 28-year-old Ashley Smith of Pontotoc. After shooting the teller, she then engaged police in a chase.
As South Teller was approaching the vehicle, assisted by the Mississippi Highway Safety Patrol, there was one shot heard inside the vehicle. Once they approached the vehicle, there is a white female that was occupying the vehicle.
I heard a lot of sirens. My dogs were barking. I've got 3 of them. So I had to come out and see what was going on. And they stopped up here by this bridge, and they kept coming this way, and then they started coming that way.
Investigation is obviously, it's still a fluid investigation. We're piecing everything together right now. We're going to be able to put the whole thing together, the physical acts anyway.
And as you can imagine, citizens in the tight-knit community are devastated. Some who have lived in the area their entire lives say they've never seen anything like this.
I like broke down, went to crying when I found out it was her.
Small little, everybody knows everybody. So we started getting calls this morning, started making circles to see what's going on.
It's kind of creepy for this to be happening.
Flowers have been placed at the front and the side of the bank. Now, 1 week and at least 6 states, Nevada police busted 2 inmates on the run from Mississippi. Bill Hughes has been following this story and tells us how the duo was taken down.
2 escaped Tishomingo County inmates are in jail this morning after being on the run for a week. Their travels took them almost 1,700 miles, where Las Vegas police caught them in a stolen vehicle. The cross-country duo is 26-year-old Jonathan Ham and 23-year-old Isaac Bennett. And while in Nevada, a traffic stop became their demise. Bennett was the driver, Ham was a passenger. Ham even tried to pass off as a hitchhiker. Sheriff John Daughtry says that they will face additional charges, including grand larceny. Since the inmates have been located, the Tishomingo sheriffs are working to enforce security this morning. Their first step is to connect with the county's Board of Supervisors for assistance.
Since the last escape has really come to light, so we're mainly focused on right now is the safety and well-being of our citizens. We're looking at reinforcing all the doors, especially the exterior doors that lead to the outside.
To keep yourself updated on this story and more, please visit WTVA.com, or you can like our Facebook page. Katrina?
Thank you, Bill. In Lowndes County, they now have a new officer this morning who joined the new drug task force. Just in the last 4 months, this new task force has worked about 130 felony drug cases. The Columbus City Council approved transferring its third officer over to the new Columbus Lowndes Drug Task Force. And right now, meth is their #1 drug. They see it on the streets every day.
We are in the high crime areas that are deemed kind of trouble spots with a lot of foot traffic and things where some violent crimes have happened in the past, and our presence has helped.
They hope to have their fourth and final officer from the city to join the task force within the next couple of months.
A little boy is dead this morning due to Tropical Storm Cindy. He's a 10-year-old from Missouri. He died after he was hit by a log that washed in by rough surf. The log was a 14-foot long log and it was wide as a trash bin. Authorities say the child was vacationing with his family and was from the St. Louis area. And the time is now 4:35. Let's check in with meteorologist John DeLucic for a closer look at our severe weather authority forecast. John, we're getting a lot of rain and just a kind of a deluge of rain out there this morning.
Yeah, we've got one batch that has pulled through our area, and there's more headed our way. As a matter of fact, over the next 24 to 36 hours, we will be looking at some pretty good patches, and even into portions of tomorrow evening, as the system keeps moving its way through our area. Right now, still off the coast over around Beaumont, Port Arthur. I'll show you the storm in just a moment. First of all, we're with one band of rain pulling through, and then a little lull, and more bands headed our way. Temperatures out there mostly in the 70s, lower to middle 70s, even a few upper 70s in the mix. And again, looking at Cindy, she's basically just to the south of Port Arthur, Texas right now at 45 miles an hour with winds up to 50 to 55. And yes, we do have a tornado watch in effect for southern sections of Mississippi and central Mississippi into west central and southern sections of Alabama. So if you're watching us down around Philadelphia, DeKalb, you have the potential for some isolated tornadoes, even areas just adjacent around the Golden Triangle. I can't rule out later on today that could be extended northward, and over the next day or two we could see the risk of isolated tornadoes. And that lingers again into tomorrow, and then lesser chances with a front headed our way or moving through our area on Saturday and Sunday. After that, things dry out. More details about the world of weather coming up in just a few moments. Now back to Bill and Katrina.
Thanks, John. A woman is out on bail this morning after police say that she cut a man with a box cutter. Now, we're working to know the victim's name at this time. Now, what we do know so far, the accused woman is 43-year-old Patricia Moody, and police say Moody was in the car with the victim in the back seat. They got into an argument. Moody reportedly hit the victim and then sliced him with a box cutter. She faces charges of domestic violence and aggravated assault.
Meanwhile, in Yalobusha County, a man is behind bars this morning, also for domestic violence. Police say Jimmy Leonard of Coffeyville got into a dispute with his girlfriend. Police tell us the argument was over a horse's saddle. He apparently cut her after she returned it. We're waiting to see if bond will be set.
Yalobusha Sheriff Lance Humphrey says if you find yourself in a domestic violence situation, please call 911. More information regarding domestic violence can be found on the Mississippi Attorney General's website.
And weather-wise, once again, Cindy is the key word in our weather forecast over the next couple of days. All the details in just a few moments.
Now, your WTVA Severe Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist John DeLusick.
Good morning, 441 on your Thursday morning, and indeed rainfall, yes, it'll be in patchy form and heavy at times. As a matter of fact, we could even see a few isolated thunderstorms and maybe even a few isolated tornadoes in that mix. You're looking at one batch pulling through our area right now, and there's more headed our way. As we work our way southward, notice several bands out there. One band real stout, producing isolated tornadoes at times. Then you got another one that could produce some isolated tornadoes. And there's the center right around Beaumont, Port Arthur, Texas, as expected. So Cindy's been following the forecast. Yesterday we mentioned the Beaumont, Port Arthur area about this time of morning. And guess what? There she is at 45 to 50 miles an hour. Has lost a little bit of punch, but still bands from this system, and you saw in the news already fatality, at least one fatality from Cindy. And again, something that could happen again later on today. We've got a tornado watch in effect from roughly just southern sections of our viewing area. We do have some viewers down around the DeKalb and Philadelphia area and down farther south. This could be stretched northward later on. This is just for a little bit of brief spin-up tornadoes, not those monsters that we usually get in spring. And I've mentioned that the last couple of days. It's not going to be an outbreak of severe weather, outbreak of tornadoes, but there will be some potential there. We've already seen some yesterday, and we'll see some today. We already, overnight even, in Alabama, have seen a few isolated tornadoes. And there's your forecast next several days. We'll be looking at temperatures staying mostly in the 70s and 80s for highs, all depending upon your sunshine. Some towns will see a little bit of sunshine. Some towns, a lot of clouds and pretty good areas of rain and thunderstorms. Morning lows, next couple of mornings will drop off, generally speaking, down into the lower to middle 70s. Again, a few of the storms will produce heavy rainfall and very heavy rainfall amounts at times. Again, with those isolated tornado chances too. That's a look at weather. Here are Katrina and Bill.
The stabbing of an officer at the Bishop International Airport in Flint, Michigan is being investigated as an act of terrorism. The suspect has been identified as a Canadian man who entered the United States legally on June 6th. Wednesday morning, the suspect stabbed the officer in the neck and declared, "God is great" in Arabic. A pilot safely ejected from an F-16 fighter jet at Ellington Airport in Houston Wednesday morning. In this cell phone video, you can see thick black smoke rising from the wreckage. Immediately after the crash, the Falcon jet crashed after fire erupted on board. Evacuations were ordered for the airport and surrounding area due to ammunition on board the jet. In a deal that could be worth up to $1 billion, George Clooney and his partners have sold their high-end tequila brand. They sold it to the huge British multinational that also owns Smirnoff, Captain Morgan, and Crown Royal. Clooney launched Casamigos Tequila in 2013 with friends, including entrepreneur Randy Gerber, who is married to model Cindy Crawford.
Senate Republicans are expected to release a draft of their health care bill today. Senate Republicans will be given the discussion draft of the bill during an all-Republican member closed-door meeting this morning at 9:30, and it will then be released afterwards. Republicans have been working on the legislation behind closed doors for weeks. The American college student who died just days after he was released from North Korea will be laid to rest today. Funeral services for Otto Warmbier will be held at the high school that he attended in Wyoming, Ohio this morning. White House advisor Jared Kushner spent yesterday in the Middle East trying to lay the groundwork for new talks between Israel and the Palestinians. The president's son-in-law first met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem. He then went to the West Bank for a late-night meeting with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Pope Francis played host to some American football legends at the Vatican. The Pope greeted members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, including Ronnie Lott, Franco Harris, and Curtis Martin. Franco clearly had fun when he received an autographed helmet and jersey from the group. A soon-to-be Hall of Famer Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones was also at the Pope's side.
The time now is 4:45, and when we come back, John DeLusick will have a complete forecast of our Severe Weather Authority forecast.
And later we'll have the latest in local sports, so stay with us.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Hot last year, 104 days over 90 degrees. Yep, I know, and this year it's at least it's a warm, humid time, and so far so good. And average year has you're supposed to have like 74 days or something like that, somewhere around there. I think of 90-degree temperatures or above, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember. Somewhere 70 somewhere days. Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's cool. It's like, so this is a much better for everything. Yeah, what was rare about last year, we had like 104 days over 90 degrees. Not one day did we get over 100, however. So it was all between 90 and 99, or even hit 100. Strange, kind of strange year. Okay.
Now, your WTVA Severe Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist John DeLusick.
And it's Thursday morning, 4:48. We've already seen some patches of rain across our area, even some embedded heavier areas of rainfall. Nothing severe yet. Notice I said yet. There is that potential that we could see a few stronger storms in the mix. Let's hope not, but you got to mention its reality, and it's going to happen in some areas, and it may happen again in our area as we go into later portions of today and maybe even tomorrow across our area. And speaking of our area, right here outside WTVA, high above our tower cam, we're looking at 74 degrees. You can see the rain right now light after seeing some moderate to heavy rainfall in the last hour or two. East winds at 11, good brisk east wind. This is just one of the bands passing through our area from Cindy. And Cindy's still out in the Gulf of Mexico, about ready to move on shore down around Beaumont, Port Arthur. Here's that one band that has been pulling through our area now. Notice we're on the light rain side here in Tupelo. Moderate to heavy rain at times moving through the Corinth area. Even heavier rainfall found over toward the Huntsville area. And as we take a wider look, you'll see an outline for a tornado watch that extends into southern sections of our area, and it stretches all the way down toward coastal sections. We've already seen a few of these over here in eastern Alabama produce some isolated tornadoes overnight. Yesterday we saw several reports of tornadoes, and look at this band right here. You got a band right here, you got a band over here, another one right adjacent to it, and that's all because of Cindy again. Cindy way down in portions of southeastern Texas, southwestern sections of Louisiana at 45 miles an hour. So the center again right now at this moment in time crossing through the Beaumont Port Arthur area. Now this low pressure area or tropical storm that's going to become a low pressure area eventually will move off northward into southern Arkansas by tomorrow morning, and just off to our north and west by tomorrow evening. And that'll put us in a zone for the next couple of days of potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms that could produce some isolated spin-up tornadoes. From Tupelo southward, the possibility is there. It's not going to be an outbreak, but there will be some isolated storms that could do that. And same thing goes for your Friday. From our area, stretching all the way up through Nashville or just east of Nashville over toward Pigeon Forge and London, Kentucky. And if you don't get the isolated spin-ups, you'll get the possibilities of some flash flooding. The areas that you see shaded in red, those are the areas for flash flooding. Once again, tornado watch in effect for portions of central Mississippi into west central Alabama and areas southward. So as we watch these storm bands pull through, notice a few breaks in between. So that could be some partly to mostly sunny skies briefly, but I think it'll be mostly rainy conditions, and then more rain in here as we go through the day tomorrow as that system passes through. And as we go through the weekend, we'll linger some isolated scattered showers and thunderstorms due to a cold front. And that cold front will have a pretty good effect on us. How about temperatures dropping off considerably. Don't be surprised to see some towns in the normally cooler spots drop off into the unseasonably cool upper 50s early sections of next week. Most areas will drop off into the lower to middle 60s, and most areas staying in the middle to upper 80s to near 90 for highs with low humidity values. But the next couple of days, again, heavy rain at times, not all the time, but at times, and yes, an isolated spin up of a tornado can't be ruled out. That's a look at weather. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now, WTVA Sports with Sports Director Jim Holder.
Good morning. Mississippi State shortstop Ryan Gridley has announced that he has signed with the Oakland Athletics. Gridley was an 11th round pick in last week's draft. Terms of the deal have not been disclosed. Gridley was a first-team All-SEC selection this season, hitting .327 with 6 homers and 39 RBI. Meanwhile, the NIMCAB summer baseball tournament
Now, WTVA Sports with Sports Director Jim Holder.
Good morning. Mississippi State shortstop Ryan Gridley has announced that he has signed with the Oakland Athletics. Gridley was an 11th round pick in last week's draft. Terms of the deal have not been disclosed. Gridley was a first-team All-SEC selection this season, hitting .327 with 6 homers and 39 RBI. Meanwhile, the NIMCAB summer baseball tournament underway. NIMCAB stands for Northeast Mississippi Coaches Association for Better Baseball. It's a mouthful. Tupelo hosting Saltillo in one of the tourney's 7 scheduled regionals. No score until the bottom of the second. Bases loaded. Single brings in the game's first run for Tupelo. Umbrellas out early and often. Ground out to first on this play, but this will score another run to make it 2-0 Golden Wave. Rain the winner in this one because it was suspended in the third with Tupelo leading 2-0. Also want to mention Tyreek Reed will sign today with the Texas Rangers. And also in the College World Series, LSU eliminates Florida State 7-4. And for more, as always, go to our website, WTVA.com, and check out the WTVA News app.
And weather-wise, we're dealing with some areas of rain showers and thunderstorms across the area, and those heavier areas of rainfall, all because of Tropical Storm Cindy. And Cindy keeps flowing bands across our area, and Cindy's still just right now moving onshore down around Beaumont, Port Arthur. Look at this one band that's pulled through our area. Then we've got some more bands, one that's been stout, producing some tornadoes, hence a tornado watch in effect for southern sections of and central sections of Mississippi and Alabama, and a few more bands. And any one of these spiral bands will bring you some heavy rainfall and maybe the potential for some isolated tornadoes. And again, that is going to be happening and happening next couple of days across our area. There's Cindy. at 45 miles an hour. Pretty stout barometric pressure down to 992, but still a weaker storm, but strong enough to produce some pretty good bands. And there's that tornado watch in effect for southern sections of our viewing area if you stretch them down into the Philadelphia area and over toward the DeKalb area. So your next several days, you'll be looking at, again, today and tomorrow, pretty good bands of heavy rainfall, at times isolated tornadoes, not out of the question. Then some scattered showers and storms in here for your Saturday, and then we clear things out as we go into sections of late weekend into next week. That's a look at weather. Here are Bill and Katrina.
Thanks, John. And we have Emma Packard live in Itawamba County this morning.
She's been following the trail that left 2 people dead after the attempted bank robbery. Stay with us as WTVA 9 News Today continues.